T-minus 8 minutes, 10 seconds, and counting.
Dick Gordon, a quick translation.
They're going. They're going to count down, and they're going to get this thing off the ground this time, Peter. I knew when they had the problems last night that we could expect something good to happen.
How far, given the enormous pressures from the administration on the cost of this thing, which is running so late, would it be a political decision to go today?
No, I don't believe so. I don't think anybody would acquiesce to that kind of thing. There's too much on the line for this thing to fly and fly properly and get all the test objectives completed that this flight is intended to perform.
What has held it up before, of course, is computers. Computers have spotted some last-minute defect. Do you think the computers are too sophisticated on this machine?
No, they're not too sophisticated. We need them. But one problem with computers, Peter, is that they cannot make decisions.
They can't make
They
judgments.
can make no judgments. They make decisions yes or no. Yeah. But they can't make judgment factors in between these two lines. That's correct.
Do you think they may have to adjust the software, as they call it, in some way to make sure that fewer flights are delayed?
The more we learn, modifications could very likely be made. We can open up the limits, a lot of parameters as we gain experience flying this thing more and more, so that some of these real tight limits now could be relaxed.
Now, Joe Engle and Dick Truly are sitting there on their backs, pointing at the sky. What's going through their minds? You've been through it twice before.
Well, they're probably pretty relaxed right now. They've got a certain sequence to follow and go through, and they've been training for this for an awful long time. And these times are probably the most relaxed. It's easier than some of the simulations you have to go through, and they're anxious to fly and they want to get this off, so they're probably pretty calm, pretty relaxed. Well-trained astronauts that have things under control.
Are astronauts getting older?
Yeah,
one is 44, one is 49.
Joe Engle has waited 15 years to fly on this mission since coming to NASA. Dick Truly about 12. And they are getting older, but there's a lot of experience behind these people.
They both wear spectacles too, don't they? I thought all you flyers, and you're a former Navy flyer.
What do you mean both of them wear spectacles? Age does catch up. We all wear spectacles eventually.
You all had to have cat's eyes for this sort of work.
Well, we all did when we were younger. A lot of us had much better than 20/20 vision, but the biological process does catch up, and we get that nearsightedness that we suffer from.
Let's just see what's happening at the Cape.
T-minus 5 minutes, 30 seconds. And pilot Dick Truly has signified the auxiliary power units are ready to be started.
Auxiliary power units ready to be started, Dick.
We've heard this before, haven't we, about APUs.
5 minutes, 15
they've
seconds
changed the oil,
counting.
flushed the systems out. We expect no problem from APUs this time around.
But this is the stage 8 days ago that they spotted a problem.
Well, the APUs didn't have the problem at this moment. They did have one, or a problem, later on during the countdown.
We have a goal for APU start.
They're starting
and
APUs
the start
now.
sequence has begun.
Those APUs are being started. Last time was paraffin in the
4
filters.
minutes, 44 seconds and counting. Yes, sir, that work. Minus 4:30. T-minus 4 minutes, 30 seconds and counting. We have a total of 16 minutes of hydrazine supply for running the APUs prior to a liftoff. Okay, APU start is complete. Looks good on board. APU start is complete.
APUs are
T-minus
working.
4 minutes,
Sure
10
are.
seconds and counting.
One oil change after 1,000,000 miles.
I wish my car would do that.
T-minus 4 minutes. We have begun nitrogen purge of the main engines on the orbiter.
Now what's that mean?
T-minus 3 minutes, 50 seconds.
Well, they're just
and counting.
purging the systems to get all of any contaminants are in there.
T-minus 3
They flush them
minutes,
out,
45
have a
seconds.
fresh start with everything
The
they've got.
Elevon, speed brake, and rudder are being moved through a pre-programmed pattern to assure that they'll be ready to be used in flight. Little exhaust from the APUs coming out the tail of the orbiter, indicating that all is well. T-minus 3 minutes, 28 seconds and counting. The shuttle is now on internal power. However, the fuel cells are still receiving their fuel from the ground support system through the tail service mast for 1 more minute. T-minus 3 minutes, 15 seconds. The profile checks of the aero surfaces have been completed and checked. T-minus 3 minutes, 5 seconds. The engine gimbal or movement check is underway to assure that they're ready for flight control.
They're wiggling all the bits that these motors have to move.
Everything that can wiggle is being wiggled.
Seconds
That's
counting.
right.
The LOX valve on the external tank has been closed and pressurization begun. After the tank is pressurized, the hold capability is limited. T-minus 2 minutes, 40 seconds. We have cleared the caution and warning memory. The gaseous oxygen vent arm is being retracted.
Dick, who presses the button? The launch director or a computer?
Well, it's that computer that's automatic sequence, and it's on time, and the clock will do all of this for us right now.
Its onboard supply. T-minus 2 minutes, 15 seconds. The main engines have been gimbaled to their start position, and the pressure on the liquid oxygen tank is at flight pressure. Coming up on the 2-minute point. T-minus 2 minutes and counting. The liquid hydrogen vent valve has been closed and flight pressurization underway. T-minus 1 minute, 50 seconds and counting. Copy. The gaseous oxygen vent arm is almost fully retracted. T-minus 1 minute, 40 seconds and counting. T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds, 90 seconds away from launch of STS-2. T-minus 1 minute, 15 seconds and counting. The liquid hydrogen tank is at flight pressure. Coming up on the 1 minute point in our countdown, everything going smoothly. T-minus 1 minute and counting. T-minus 50 seconds. The firing system for the ground suppression water is armed. T-minus 40 seconds. Development flight instrument recorders are on. T-minus 37 seconds. We're about just a few seconds away from switching control of launch to the computer sequencer. We have control of the countdown now being conducted by the launch sequencers on board the orbiter. T-minus 20 seconds and counting. The SRB hydraulic power units have started. The SRB nozzles have been moved to start position. Coming up on 10, T-minus 10, 9. We have go for main engine start. We have main engine start. Minus 3, 2, 1. We have ignition. We have ignition of the solid rocket boosters and liftoff. Liftoff of America's space shuttle, and the space shuttle has cleared the tower.
Houston now controlling. Mission control confirms roll maneuver started.
Rolling to the proper azimuth for launch.
20 seconds. Thrust looks good. 25 seconds. Roll maneuver completed. 30 seconds. Columbia now 1 nautical mile in altitude. 35 seconds. Status check emission controlled by Flight Director Neil Hutchinson. Given a go at 40 seconds.
Columbia, Houston, your go at 40.
Roger, go at 40. And master arm bandits. The
48 seconds. Throttling engines down for execute.
Roger, ignore the master alarm, Columbia.
okie dokes.
Coming up on period of maximum aerodynamic pressure on the vehicle. Mark 1 minute. Columbia now 5 nautical miles in altitude, 3 nautical miles downrange. Velocity now reading 2,300 feet per second. 1 minute, 8 seconds. Pass through max Q. Columbia still looking good. Throttling engines back to 100%. Mark 1 minute, 20 seconds. Columbia now 9 nautical miles in altitude, 6 nautical miles downrange. Velocity now reading 3,000 feet per second.
Magnificent picture, Dick.
It's a great picture.
Mark 1 minute, 35 seconds. Columbia now 14 nautical miles in altitude, 10 nautical miles downrange.
Columbia, Houston, you can expect an EVAP, C&W.
1 minute 45 seconds, coming up on negative seats where altitude's too high for ejection seat.
Your negative seats.
Okay, they can't use the seats for recovery now.
Mark 1 minute 55 seconds, Columbia now 21 nautical miles in altitude, 18 nautical miles downrange, velocity now reading 5,000 feet per second. Standing by now for solid rocket booster separation confirmation.
50 at 205.
Roger, copy. PC less than 50.
Boosters, there they go. Solid rocket boosters just came off.
$28 million each.
We're going to get them back.
Confirm good solid rocket booster separation.
Smooth as glass, Houston.
2 minutes 25 seconds, onboard guidance is converging as programmed. Columbia is now steering for its precise window in space for main engine cutoff. Columbia now 35 nautical miles in altitude, 40 nautical miles downrange.
Okay, Houston, verify temps are coming down and looking good.
Roger, Columbia, thank you.
Mark 2 minutes 45 seconds. Columbia now has 2-engine landing capability at Rota Naval Air Station, Spain. 2 minutes 54 seconds. Status
If one
check,
engine
mission
went
control,
out, they
give
still
it a
have
go
2
for
engines
3
that
minutes.
could abort to Rota, Spain, if necessary.
Looking good at 3.
Roger, copy. Looking good at 3.
And those chase planes are way behind now, Dick.
Yeah, they sure are. They're not going to catch up either.
Mark 3 minutes 8 seconds. Columbia now 46 nautical miles in altitude, 66 nautical miles downrange. Columbia's 3 main engines continue to run smoothly. Ingle and Truly really moving out now. Velocity now reading 6,700 feet per second.
What's it feel like sitting there?
It's a great ride. It's a great feeling.
Mark 3 minutes 30 seconds. Columbia now 52 nautical miles in altitude, 85 nautical miles downrange. Velocity now reading 7,000 feet per second. Return status check and the mission control by Flight Director Neil Hutchinson. Ingle and Truly given a go to continue.
Feel all that thrust. It's a smooth ride, and you know you're on your way.
And it's at this stage, of course, well,
Mark 3
since
minutes 55 seconds. Columbia now 58 nautical miles in altitude, 112 nautical miles downrange. Velocity now reading 7,900 feet per second.
because the post-launch
4
period,
minutes,
they're
8 seconds,
in
standing
the
by
lap
for a
of
negative
Houston
return in
mission
78
control now, rather than launch
by
control of the
Captain
plane.
They switch over right after liftoff.
Mark, negative return.
I think I heard negative return, which means they cannot come back to the landing site. They would have to go on into orbit or into Rota, Spain.
With that call up, Ingle and Truly now committed to space travel. They can no longer turn around and return to the launch site.
Well, there you are. Columbia made it at last for that second historic test flight. More from us in a moment, but we're going to do what Joe Engle and Dick Truly can't do right now. We're going to take a small break.
Yes, sir.
Looks like a few thin clouds there to come around, but they've got all the data that they need.
And there's probably no more,
68,000.
no more experienced pilot than Dick
No.
Engle.
39
I
miles
think,
range, Mach 1.5.
Joe and Dick
PTI 6.
had flown the approach and landing phase test, and now they're doing it again, the same thing. As a test pilot, Joe had about 30 tests to make during reentry.
Ingle continuing to fly the test maneuvers.
And he flew that rocket plane X-15 some
Yes.
16 times.
So he's well versed at this phase of the flight.
Got his astronaut's wings 15, 16 years ago.
60,000
Yes.
feet.
Columbia Houston, at your convenience, transfer the state vector from the pass to the BFS.
You're almost unreadable. Rick, say again, please.
Roger, a state vector transfer, pass to BFS.
Okay, thank you very much.
The state vector is nothing more than navigational information. Looks like we've got a few
PTI
chase
7,
planes out there.
Mark. 50,000 feet, Mach 1, range 27 miles.
Should explain that Joe got his astronaut's wings in the X-15 by going more than 50 miles high.
Yes, he did.
Roger, you're
1964.
tracking right down the line.
So he's on ground track.
Columbia approaching the heading alignment circle now.
That's called a, what is it, a 100,000 ton glider?
42,000 feet,
It's 100
ton
tons.
glider?
0.8, 22 miles.
200,000 pounds of glider.
Columbia Houston, we show you intercepting the hack, and a reminder you've got the strong winds out of the west. Now out of the...
That's the
Out of
heading
38,000
alignment circle around the approach end of the runway. You'll see him in a constant left-hand turn. And as he comes out of this turn, he'll be lined up
And we
directly
got
with the
a
runway.
little bit of PTI zero in, but not too much.
And it's the same runway as the first test flight landed on.
Yes, it is.
Runway 23 at Edwards Air Force Base in California.
They were going to try a crosswind landing, but crosswind was just a little too strong for them. They decided to go back in a 2-3.
Turn now to get lined up with the runway.
There's moisture in the sky out there.
Picture.
He's pulling some...
25,000 feet.
Columbia Houston about 3,000 feet low now out of 24,000 feet.
Roger that. And chase, we're showing 290 at 20,000.
290 knots.
Okay, we're about to be with you at 19.
Check body flap to manual.
Roger, 95 con manual.
We got to have a chase plane joining up with him pretty quick.
280 knots at 18,000 feet.
They'll be down in about 2 minutes now, Dick. And has Joe Engle got it under his own control now?
He might be in automatic landing phase right now.
Okay, speed brake sweep starting now.
He will take
Roger,
over
still just slightly low on the energy, looking okay.
at about 2,000 feet, just before he flares. They're doing a speed brake test now for more aerodynamic data. They're a short distance from touchdown. He's still getting test pilot information.
And you can see the chase plane looking at his heat shield underneath those famous tiles. Been no reports of any failure there at all.
We haven't heard a word of tile problems
Roger,
at all.
slightly below glide slope. You're below the glide slope. You have a go for auto land.
Okay, Rick, thank you, sir.
This is a microwave terminal phase guidance he's into right now. It's an automatic.
Now, would it land if he took his hands off?
No, take it down to the flare, but Joe has to land it from that point.
Just over a minute to touchdown now, Dick.
9,230.
Coming down in about a 20-degree glide
Speed
slope.
brake auto.
Okay, speed brake, body flap, auto, everything's auto. Thank you.
Speed brake to auto helps him control airspeed, about 265 knots.
And as we said before, for Joe Engle, this is very nearly routine after all his work in the simulator and on the prototype.
He flew Enterprise a little bit like this. Now he's just doing it with the second one called Columbia.
About a minute away from touchdown.
Now, what's the betting that they'll actually put it on the black marks on the runway where Crippen and Young failed?
I imagine there is some bets on this one. We know a little bit more about the aerodynamics, so he has a better chance.
220.
The chase plane, of course, counts them down the last few hundred
He
feet.
calls the last 10 feet of altitude and verifies his airspeed.
So he's got to know what he's doing.
Yeah, he can run into the ground, too.
3,500 feet. 250 knots. 2,500 feet, speed brakes are closed for 270 knots.
He's right on.
Chase concurs.
He will start to flare at about 1,700.
Columbia is clear land, link bed 23, wind 210. Okay.
In good shape.
By flare, you mean what?
Just rotate, the gear's coming down. He will rotate to break the rate of descent. That starts the flare, and he's already done that. The gear's down.
50, 30, 20, 10, 5,
A little dust on the runway.
touchdown.
He's down.
Nose gear 15,
He didn't bounce that. He has improved a little bit.
10, 10,
As good as a Navy pilot, Dick?
Well, that's hard to say.
3, touchdown. Welcome home.
Look at that. That
Thank
is
you,
some
Chief.
sight.
And the whole point about it is that we've now
Shuttle
seen
control, the
it
unofficial
twice. We've seen it before.
Touchdown time and
That-
mission elapsed time.
That truly is a reusable
6
vehicle.
hours, 13 minutes, 10 seconds.
Which is very nearly
Repeat
stopped.
that mission elapsed time for touchdown. 2 days, 6 hours, 13 minutes, 10 seconds.
Rolls are stopped and we're getting into the post landing.
Okay, Joe, it's a great day for the Ace Moving Company. Welcome home. Over to Steve Nagel now.
Okay.
Columbia, Houston.
So Columbia has landed again. and the age of the shuttle has truly arrived. England truly then enter the history books as the first men to reuse a spaceship, and in doing so they take space exploration forwards by another giant step.